Ruowen Huang. Today, I wanna talk about topics. I often believe that I talk about everything I want to say already, but sometimes thanks to you guys' reminder, they remind me that there are so much more I haven't talked about yet. So anyway, before I begin, let me first introduce myself. Not like you never heard of this before. My name is Ruowen Huang. I'm an author, spirit coach, and also a psychic. Today I want to share my perspective of soul disease. Let me remind you again and again. Hey. I am not a doctor. Seriously, I show all respect to all the doctors out there. And then I believe, there are some really great doctors out there, okay? So I'm simply sharing you guys with the information from my own personal perspective. I speak for myself. I don't speak for everybody. But I understand, sometimes when people deal with the illness, they hope there's an extra force. And I'm hoping, what I look into or study will make sense for you guys and also help you. But understand it's not the only solution, and it won't be the only solution, because a true healing is take balance. So let me remind you again, I don't speak for doctor, and it's not true. It's simply speak for myself, personal opinion. Just want to share with you guys and hope to be able to help with you guys figure things out a little. So anyway, today I want to share with you guys about soul disease. What is soul disease? As I mentioned long ago, I kind of forget when, but long ago, I mentioned, like, from my own personal observation, I realized I can categorize illness or disease or disorder or whatever you say into various categories. And then I share my personal opinion with you, or hopefully you guys are able to identify them. And I thought I mentioned soul disease, and obviously did not. So as I mentioned before, there are illness or sickness or disorder that's created by logic, your logical unbalance. Your mind is very surrounded by all the logical mind. It could cause a disease. Then I talk about how the emotion, that certain emotion got clogged, and the way people handle their emotion could then get them prone to certain disease as well. But then there are another thing called soul disease. What is soul disease is basically, very often it happens when you were born with it. Does that make sense? That you're born with certain disease. You're born with it. You're born with some kind of disorder. You're born with some kind of syndrome. You're born with it. Like, you're born with that things. So here I want to share my, my personal observation. I noticed, like, with a soul disease, usually if you don't born with it, you will have it before you were 5-year-old. So before 5-year-old, something will trigger and then it will happen, right? Usually this disease, this disorder or disease or syndrome, I actually don't have a better word, but I believe, many of you will probably have a better vocabulary for me. But anyway, let's just use disease for now. So illness, maybe illness sounds better. So the soul illness usually come with a task. That task is very tying closely to the soul, the one who born with it. And not only it come with a person that born with it, it also has something to do with the people who live with them. Does that make sense? So that is, not only I as a soul come with such a disease, I have to work with it. And very often it's not just physical, it's also mental. There's a lot of mental work, like they have to work with it. If you want to have a little clue, then the best way to do is, when I'm having this disorder, what does it trigger me? Usually it triggers some kind of lesson, like I'm not good enough, I couldn't fit in, or I'm stupid, or I don't look good, or I'm different. Whatever that is, that setting, it didn't just come this life. Very likely it's been going on and on and on in your previous life as your soul grow. And we all know in a soul level, that's not really how soul should be. But since one soul could not overcome such a task, they will bring it and become a main command for them to work within themselves. So if I come with such a syndrome, I come with such an illness, you first understand they always have a lesson that attach very closely to the soul itself. Disregard other people, but very closely to the soul itself. So what you really have to do in this particular life, it's not like you were ever gonna be like someone else. It's not like I'm ever gonna blend in. You probably could. But what you more need to work on is, so what I'm different? How can I still live up to the life that I want to create for myself? How can I overcome such an obstacle to still create something that I want for myself? Really, if you think this direction, then you're really trying to overcome that setting, or try to evolve really quickly from what the soul illness or soul disease that you decide to come with. And then I understand for many of you, like as family, as a friends, that we have people like dealing with it and we don't know what to do, especially mother. I myself as a mother, and we all know when the kids get sick, we often blame ourselves, right? We blame it, we couldn't give them a healthy body. We blame ourselves, like, it's our fault, like they are this way, they must be have done something wrong. As I say, when it comes to the soul illness, which it would be so many, and mind you, I didn't look into many of them. I simply look into the case like around me, surround me, or I deal with, right? But I believe there are so many of them. But I will try to share with you later on. But what I'm saying is, if you happen to be a family member, friends, or lover, or whatever, and you're dealing with this, understand what does it trigger you. Like the mindset that is in your mind, right? Like, why? Oh my God, it's all my fault. I couldn't deal with it. I couldn't stop playing the blame game. What I'm really here trying to, which I see many cases, like it's very easy for people to fall into blame game. But we had gone through life after life. We're so good at blaming one another, and obviously it's not getting us anywhere. It's not really helping you come out of this. It's not really helping you as a soul. It's not really helping you in any regard. So let's try a different way, try a different tactics. Let's try thinking about what it is that I'm feeling right now. What's the darkest side of me right now? What is the fear that I'm being confronted right now? Like, there may be time, very often my client would look at their autistic kids and say this, I cannot do this, I cannot do this, I simply cannot do this. But believe me, you could. Just because you don't believe you can doesn't mean you can. You know what I mean? Like, soul cannot play a test like they don't know how to deal with, or they cannot overcome. So take a couple deep breaths. I know it's hard. Take a couple deep breaths and really step back a little bit, and then really think, you know what? We agree to come to this life for a reason. They agree to come this way for a reason. Maybe I do know how. Maybe I could help them find out a solution. So instead of playing a blaming game, I think really the best solution for you guys is try to figure out a way and work together. How can we maximize it? How can we make the most of this? Right? Because obviously there's something you need to gain and something I need to gain too. So how can we help each other in whatever period of time to get the most of it? Because trust me, usually the soul who come with soul illness or disorder and things like that, they don't just want to impact themselves. They don't want to just impact other people too. They want to impact in a greater level of humanity. They want to influence more than just them. So, try to think in that perspective. Then you will understand. Today, I'm not particularly talking about what disease. I just want to help people understand there are various sources of illness and disease, that where you come from, how you come from, and what can I do about it. So this is simply help you guys categorize from so far what I observed. There's a disease that's created by mental, logical analyzation, logical explanation, logical mind kicking in, and then there's emotional, lot of emotional blockage, the way we handle emotion, and then there are one that you're born with it. That I call soul illness. So anyway, if you like what I'm doing, I'm pretty sure in the future I will talk about various diseases and it will help you guys to identify which area I'm talking about. Then we may be able to get into the topic or the core of it right away. So again, if you like what I'm doing, subscribe me or buy me a coffee or go to my website ruowen.com. Till then, next time, bye.